What has been the most Spinal Tap moment of your career? I am joined by Mr. Herman Li. Yes.
Yo, hey, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Ollie.
Oh, come on. Stop it, you. Come on. Thank you so much for joining me on the program. It is a pleasure to have you here. A massive DragonForce fan, I think I am. I've seen you live many times. But I think the best way to kind of break the ice with you, if I may, is by asking a question that I ask all of my guests. And I find it the most interesting question because it tends to either open up a can of worms or a hilarious story. So, Herman, in your career, from being the DragonForce guitarist, what has been the most Spinal Tap moment of your career?
Oh, the Spinal Tap moment. Oh,
yes.
there's been too many to mention. You're really opening a can of worms here. Well, I'll try to pick one out. Okay. I guess we were playing a sold out show in Canada somewhere. I think Montreal.
Yeah.
And we had a support guest. I think the support guest was Sonata Artica.
Nice.
And they have never stage dive once in their life. I said, come on, tonight is the night. You're going to do it because it's a sold out show. Let's do it. I'm going to go first. You're going to watch me. And the next song you can come in and we'll do it together, or the last song.
Yeah.
They said, they're kind of looking at me like, all right, show me what you got. So I went in there, the crowd was crazy. It was awesome. And I went in there. So I run in and I do a spin, right? So I got to land on my back while playing a song, and I'm going to do a guitar solo while that's happening. We're not going to just do it in nothing. I went in there. I look at these people in front of me. They look super excited. When I jumped and I twisted, turned, they moved out of the way. Everyone just moved. Not a single person caught me, and I just went bang, slapped down on my back.
Like
that wasn't the worst. That wasn't the worst thing, right? So, I had to play the song. So I carry on playing while I was on my back on the floor. The main problem was everybody was trying to pick me up while they were standing on my hair. So that was like the worst thing. They're like pulling me up and stepping on my hair. It was like, that was brutal. It was like, it looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I feel like that could only happen to you guys, like out of all the bands out there, like it's got to happen to you. And Herman, you are fairly frequently regarded as one of the best guitarists in the world. How does that feel when you do read these polls? Does it matter to you? Does it affect your playing or impact you in any way? Or do you kind of just get on with it?
To be honest, I'm definitely not, and everyone's wrong if they think that. Look, I'm a student of the guitar, of life, everything, of art forever. So every day I feel like I'm still a beginner, and I want to learn as much as possible as a guitar player, as a musician, and generally someone in a band.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn. So that's what makes it exciting, right? If you think you're good and you don't have anything to learn, that's time to give up, because that means that whatever you're doing is kind of boring now.
Yeah, I get that. I would like to, if I may, talk to you about the success of Through the Fire and Flames, because, to date, I would arguably say that that's probably one of your most instantly recognizable tracks. What do you think it was about that record that propelled DragonForce into most households across the world?
I think, to be honest, that song is not really much better than another song of us. It is a typical DragonForce style song, but it's about, I think, the time and the place, where we were at that time in life. There was guitar, let's say metal music, at least in the mainstream. There wasn't much guitar solos, I think. And I think at that point of the explosion of the internet, people were looking for something more, and they heard more stuff beyond the mainstream. And it's like, I want to get a bit more interested in that kind of guitar stuff. And of course, we have, before that album came out, we did the tour of Iron Maiden. We did, a bunch of stuff to build our reputation up. And it's almost like they always told me, if you don't break on the third band, you're not going anywhere. I mean, third album, sorry. You don't break on the third album. And, it did break when that came out. And then afterwards, with the whole we did Ozfest. We were on the main stage of Ozfest. We went to America, did like so many shows there. And then Guitar Hero 3 came out. So, it helped us get the meme song. And now it's the meme song. I mean, everywhere. You open any social media, there's someone covering it on YouTube, on TikTok. And it's cool. I've been reacting with them and jamming with fans, playing that song on TikTok, on YouTube. Why not?
Is it mad that, almost 15 years later, that song is still, people still go, yeah, but can you play the DragonForce track on Guitar Hero? That seems to be like the epiphany of or that seems to be kind of the benchmark for like aspiring guitarists and gamers.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of great songs on Guitar Hero, but I guess our one was the most ridiculous. 7 minutes, 15 seconds, and just like a long, huge guitar solo section, which is it wasn't like a usual thing you hear for many years, and then at 200 BPM. So it's like, okay, we're going over the top. I think, and the whole video was kind of memey when we did that music video with the guitar battle, drinking booze at the same time. Yeah.
So I think for me, one of the most one of the biggest things for me that stands out for you as a brand, as a product, and as a player, Herman, is you're always speaking out about how fast rock music and fast guitar music can invoke the same emotion as, let's say, for example, classical or something else that somebody finds emotive, so to speak. I absolutely agree with you. I still, I remember the first time I ever heard your music, and I had goosebumps in the same way that a lot of people would have goosebumps if they heard Ludovico Einaudi for the first time. Why do you think it is that some people are not able to see that music can invoke so much emotion?
Hey, you know what? Some people are not into art. Some people don't care about good food. Some people don't care about driving fast in a car. And that's totally fine, to be honest. When I first started playing guitar and playing, listening to metal, I never understood why people wouldn't find a guitar solo exciting or interesting. And then grunge came along, and they kind of told me there's just millions and millions and billions of people who do not care about or feel anything from these notes. Just like, people probably listen to classical music and thought, why is this not more popular? We are way smarter than you guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I want to touch upon, if I may, the live experience of DragonForce. As I said, I've seen you live a handful of times, and every single time I feel like I'm also watching like an acrobatics class as well as a live performance. You guys must be absolutely exhausted after that. How do you find the energy to put on such a spellbinding performance?
It's about pushing the limits. Like,
okay,
when we first started, we had like the trampolines and all that stuff.
I remember.
Going,
that was great.
How do these guys jump on trampoline and play guitar solos? And we do the spins, right? We do the 360 spin and land on our feet and keep playing. And we try to evolve it. Now we have the absolute giant arcade machines. We've got to run up them and play guitar solo, doing battles on them. The dragons that blow stuff out, yeah, it's just it's fun for us. It's like a party, right? The reason why we started the band was really just have a laugh, just have fun. Go play some gigs. It wasn't to be a pro or anything. We never thought that way. And now we're still having fun doing it. I think that's important to keep it fresh and exciting. So we don't go on tour and go, oh, we don't want to be here. We want to go home. There's never that. It's like, how do we make the next show even better than last time? How do we improve on it?
I have to say, and it was a while ago that I last saw you live, but I have to say your performances definitely stick in my memory for being like the most fun, the most outrageous, the most, I suppose, typical DragonForce experience. But with live shows being so important now, Herman, because nobody's really making money off streaming sites, and you have seen from beginning DragonForce back in sort of the late 90s to where you are today, you've seen a massive kind of culture change in the way that people acquire their music. You used to go out and buy an album. Now they obviously stream it. Do you think that the internet has been a positive or negative tool that has been implemented to the music industry?
That's a very good question.
Thanks.
When we first started playing music, we just wanted people to hear it. Mm-hmm. That was more important than money, because it's like we created something we thought this is really cool. We want to share it with everybody. And I think the internet have enabled that, and bands that complain about it just got to move with the time and just get on with the program. Is the world of change. Look, your album is your least money-making thing. It's the most expensive thing you're going to make, and it's going to be the least amount of money. But, we have so much fun doing not just a live show now. I actually stream on my Twitch channel pretty much every single show of the last tour for 2 months on Twitch, with like not just one camera. I mean, I had 6 to 9 cameras. So we want people to see every cool thing we're doing on stage, the pyro, the crazy stuff, the video screen, and people aren't bored of it. We get like, some nights you got 10,000 people watching on Twitch, and it just kind of, it goes, and they're like having a chat, having a cool time on it. So I think, along with Twitch and doing, they now call me a YouTuber. I think there's so many ways you can show your music and still have a successful career while having fun. You just need to find each thing that works for you and go for it.
I think you guys do that when, as I say, kind of just going back a minute ago to your live shows. I mean, you guys are clearly a band that have a lot of fun. You've been in the game and doing this for a while now, Herman, and we haven't had a studio album from you since 2019. When can we get some more DragonForce, please?
Well,
now,
and this been talked about, and I remember the Spotify mentioning, artists should make more albums and things like that. Well, we're definitely not those bands, because we want to make sure it's good. And if we just keep pumping stuff out, you're just going to get, burned out, and the quality won't be good. We want to go on tour and play music we like, not like, oh, here's an album, make us go on tour. We can make a living. We do, we have a successful meme song, so that keeps us going, without having to go on tour. To be honest, it's been the pandemic has been really good. We're really lucky that, we didn't get affected negatively. Actually was kind of a positive thing for us to be able to do other things beyond the usual touring band stuff. I raised $600,000 for Jason Beckett, guitar player, who has been suffering ALS for like 30 years. We're able to do that, and able to do the whole Twitch and YouTube stuff. I got to play with some of my favorite guitar players during the pandemic, to raise money for someone, like from Paul Gilbert to Nuno Bettencourt. I mean, you name it. Luckily DragonForce, we've always been kind of on the cutting edge of mp3.com, even back with MySpace, we talk, before that happened. So right now, we do a lot of stuff on YouTube, like pretty much every week we have video content, and I stream on Twitch Monday to Friday and jam guitars, play DragonForce songs, hang out with fans. It's
amazing.
It's been fun. We don't have to just wait for the tour to have a good time.
Okay, now that's interesting. And I suppose I was going to ask how COVID had impacted you, but I guess for you personally, it's kind of been quite positive. It's been quite a positive experience within the world of your career, so to speak. But that didn't answer, Herman, when you're releasing a new album, because that's what I want to know.
Well, funny enough, we've written 2 albums worth of material already.
Oh, amazing.
During the pandemic.
Okay. So there is something coming.
Yeah. One of them is your typical DragonForce, songs in the next level. And then we also wrote a bunch of songs live on Twitch with fans watching us write it.
That's amazing.
Where we're making fun of Sabaton, Nightwish,
nice,
Five Finger Death Punch, just like, kind of like joke songs, And then we had like different, we had Sabaton joining us for that stuff too. Sure. And so we're going to probably make that an album, these songs that we did, and kind of work it out what we're going to go, because people want us to play it. So we'll see. We even had Amaranth singer Elise. She kind of sang it with us live on Twitch that time on live stream.
Wow.
So we've been busy, but you'll see a DragonForce album hopefully
Are you being careful what you're going to say?
You know what? I tell you, we don't even have a record deal right now. I haven't even had time to get a new record deal for this album. So I guess I got to do that, and then we'll make it happen. Hopefully next year.
Okay.
Next year, sometime.
I need to come and see you guys live, like as soon as possible. You're kind of one of those bands that I leave the venue with just like a massive smile on my face, because it's always such a positive and fun experience. I'm not one of those people that will go and see somebody sit on a stool and kind of play for a couple of hours and, you know, think that they're kind of super cool. Where you guys, you've almost become caricatures of yourself on stage, because it's just so blown up and exciting. Taking into consideration, you know, how much the music industry has changed, and we've put, you know, we've discussed the internet and how that's kind of impacted, if you like, the music industry. What would your advice, Herman, be to a musician that wanted to follow in your footsteps and become either a successful guitarist in their own right or a part of a successful band?
I think it's important to be able to manage yourself. So understanding the music business is important, because it's not just, oh, I need to understand how YouTube work, how streaming work, or how the whole, you know, you don't need to be Rod Smallwood, you know, you don't have to be like the master manager, but you need to know how things work. And the time's moving so quickly. And if you're coming up now, you got that youth on your side, you got that drive, you know, to kind of learn about things. You know, sometimes older management, you know, they need a team of younger people, you know, to help them, because it moves so fast. You know, we don't have that much time to learn everything. And when you know music business, you control your music, because then you no longer, you know, have to listen to people. You know, let's say a lot of bands split up, or, you know, change music direction because of somehow the business have influenced them in a certain way. You know, you heard about this for many years. So I think knowing the business will help you control your music and stick to what you like doing, and keep doing it. You know, sometimes people just give up because they had the wrong manager, they had the wrong business decision, and it kind of like, you know, it would create some kind of mental stress to them that music can no longer come out. So, you know, I think that's important. Learn about music business as much as possible.
That's a very interesting answer, and not one that we've had actually so far on the show. So I really appreciate that. You mentioned the fact, Herman, that you're currently, I suppose, unsigned. There's no record label with DragonForce. Is that actually quite exciting that you are 100% in the driver's seat at the moment?
Yeah, it's super exciting. You know, it happened, you know, our last album was the last, you know, it expired, whatever, you know, with the deals. And the pandemic, we got so busy, we had no time to even find one. I mean, we're in discussion now with different labels, but being able to add a different element to the band, have given us more power to negotiate. So if you go to DragonForce YouTube, we got more than 1 million subscribers, right?
Yeah, of course.
We got our own reach. We got I don't know how many. You know, we no longer depending on a record label only. It's like, okay, you guys bring something, but we're a content creator at the same time. We're YouTuber, live streamers, band, musician, and we manage ourselves. So, you know, by doing all this, you can really get more power to negotiate. And I see a lot of bands, sometimes they release music videos and they put it on a record label's YouTube, for example. You never know how long you're going to stay with this record label.
No, that's true.
You know, to have your own thing, make your own brand, have your own channel, release it there, you know, find a way to work that you control as much as possible.
Do you need I mean, you know, you're clearly, and without at the risk of sounding patronizing, you're clearly very, very switched on. You know exactly what is going on in your world and the world of DragonForce. Herman, do you need a record label? Surely this is something that you could do yourself. I mean, you've said that you're in discussions with people, but I know it would take a lot of man hours, so to speak, but is it not something that you would be able to do yourself?
Well, we can do it ourselves, but we want to, you know, get more minds onto the table.
Yes. Yeah.
And that at the same time would drive more excitement into the band to think, oh, wow, we didn't think of that. This, we definitely not a bunch of know-it-alls.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always a student. So let's learn stuff from the pros too and be able to work together. I think we give them the music, we give them the different kind of angle I guess we're probably the only band that is doing Twitch, YouTube at the same time and TikTok as a content creator. So we're still experimenting and learning, and they don't have something 100%. Like that, so but they have the knowledge of traditional, how to push a band in the press, in the field. So
yeah.
And one of the, just such that, sorry, one of the reason the content creation and Twitch started is this. It's a lot of work to make an album, to write a bunch of songs. So and people always have, the old days bands have album cycles, right? They release an album, they do this campaign for 2 years, and they can't do anything until they have a new album out because the promotion dies down. Well, content creators, we're always doing something. So we don't need to make an album to do a festival or to do a tour.
Yes.
We're always in there. So it kind of it give us more room to write music, to not be stressed like, you got to make an album now, because if you don't make an album now, people are going to forget about you. And you got to start all again. They always say that in the music business. Like now it's been 4 years now. 3 years.
3, yeah.
It's like, it doesn't really matter. The last tour was super successful. So we found a way to, I think, not, blow our music. There's only how many solos we can do, when there's that many on an album.
I don't know. Try telling John Petrucci that. Look, I am so excited to see you guys live again. As I said a couple of times, you're one of the most hilarious bands live ever. And also, Herman, I'm a massive fan of your Instagram account because it's so witty, it's so funny what you deliver, because it's not just all about music. I mean, probably 90% of it is, but you've just got some very funny videos, and I would urge you, if you're not already, to give Herman a follow on Instagram. But we have learned a lot about DragonForce. We know that you've got an album coming out hopefully very soon. You've already agreed to give me free tickets to DragonForce shows for life, so that was really
Hey, sounds good. I'm up for it. You want to come? Let's party. Let's 100%, do it.
100%. So thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Ollie. Hopefully see you somewhere in this world, right? At a show sometime.
I hope so. And we can have like 18 pints together and then watch you try and do a solo.
Well, Sam can take you up on that, no problem.